The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. And Bob, did you get your golf tournament in Saturday?
We got 18 holes in. We got 9 in on Saturday, 9 in on Sunday. So we got it in.
You got it in.
We didn't get it all in, but we got 18 holes in. So
okay. How many were you supposed to have?
Well, we're supposed to play 27 on Saturday and 18 on Sunday.
Wow,
so
that's a lot of golf playing for one weekend. Jeez.
The Rogers Cup, it was fun. Had a good time. Great meal on Saturday by the Country Club. Country Club's closed all this week as they're getting the course ready, area greens, things like that. So just
Country Club is closed this week.
The entire week, yeah. Closed down. No golf this week.
No golf.
Working on the course. So.
Okay. All right.
But we got, like I said, there's some heavy rain Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, sir. We had that good steady rain Friday night during the ball game. Heavy rains on and off Saturday. Heavy rains late yesterday, mid-afternoon.
I saw Donnie Ray at the football game Friday. I told him just one time I want him to be wrong on the weather forecast. But he told me, he said, Bob, the rain's coming.
The rain's coming.
At
least we didn't get like Houston did.
It got there earlier Friday, and then, like I said, Saturday we got 9 holes in, and then it just poured down rain all day. And then Sunday we got 9 holes in, and it rained all day Sunday. So we got to watch the PGA Championship. Happy for Xander Schauffele. That guy's been on the, been close so many times, and finally wins a major event. So happy for him. So fun to watch. Got a chance to watch the Preakness on Saturday. That was a good horse race. But
that was in the mud, wasn't it?
Seized the Gray, just took off and never let up.
Wire to wire.
Yep,
wire to wire. He put the afterburners on and seized the Gray, won big time there.
Seized the Gray, led all the way. So.
Yes, sir. Well, Mystic Dan, the Kentucky Derby winner, came in second. Yeah, right. He was right there, but just not quite fast enough. Mm-hmm. So got the Belmont Stakes coming up in a couple of weeks, and that'll wrap up the 3 official Triple Crown races.
NBA down to the Final Four. Both Eastern Conference and Western Conference finals are set. I think it starts tomorrow in the East, Indiana and Boston. But Denver, the defending champions, knocked out last night. They
were up by 20 points. Up by 20 and lose the ball game. At home.
At home. It was like stunned. They were in shock.
They should be in shock. They just blew it. Just let them chip away at it. Didn't have some urgency. Listening to Fox Sports coming in today, they said that this morning that the bench didn't do well for them, and so.
Hard to believe pro athletes can blow a 20-point lead in NBA,
Well, they do it. You see it in basketball all the time. It's whoever gets hot. It is definitely a game of streaks a lot of time. So he gets in that groove.
Go Boston.
Well, they heard that they'll probably drop those charges today or tomorrow against the golfer, the one that was thrown up against the side of the car and handcuffed and taken to the police station.
That was a wild weekend for Scotty Scheffler.
Yeah, Scheffler.
He played well that day, but that Saturday he had a tough round Saturday.
I guess maybe he had a day of all the interviews about it and the thoughts about it. When he got there, he didn't really have time to think about it. He just went in, practiced for an hour, and then started and did good. But I understand that the mayor in the Kentucky don't want that. The mayor of the town, Louisville, and the mayor and the governor of Kentucky just want it to go away. And whatever the mayor wants and the governor wants, apparently is what's going to happen.
I just thought it was kind of funny to ask him, did he want this full meal deal? He said, what do you mean? He said, we'll get you the orange jumpsuit, give you a sandwich, take a mug shot.
Yeah. So he wasn't going to let Tiger have something on, was he? Was Tiger in orange? Yeah, well, put me in orange in.
Sad thing, they showed his mug shot, and they showed John Daly's mug shot and Tiger's mug shot. So they all had their own mug shots.
Yeah, they got their own mug shots now. They started
from all, it's just sounded like just a misunderstanding.
Misunderstanding. Yeah, that's what Scheffler was saying.
I don't think Scheffler realized he was a police officer. Like I said, he thought he had the right of way.
He was right there at the gate to turn into right there at the gate to turn in.
And they talked about how they give those players those automobiles that got the official
they're the official cars.
Right.
Yeah.
So
you think that
so he thought he just had to
go around there and get in there because he had one of the official cars. He's right there at the gate to go into the golf course, and he's Just like he said, a big misunderstanding. So
I'm sure they're going to drop the charges.
That's what I've heard over the weekend is that the mayor of Louisville and the governor of Kentucky just won't just let it go, guys. Just let it go.
Just hard to believe they didn't know who he was.
Yeah, well,
I mean, there wasn't much going on in Kentucky. That was the event.
That was the event.
He was on the leaderboard. So,
well,
but they said it was raining. They said it was
it was nasty. Of course, there was a lot of other golfers who got out of their cars and walked in, and some of them said that it could have been them, because they were trying to get in to get in for the golf tournament and so forth. And some of them said it could have been them if they had just made a different decision than they did, which would have been a very easy one to do when you get right at the gate and you're getting ready to turn into it, and you wouldn't expect somebody to grab your car and try to hold you back. It'd be easy just to get the tag number and
somebody made a lot of money on selling free Scotty's T-shirts because they're all in the gallery. All you saw Sunday was free Scotty's T-shirts.
Free Scotty.
So, somebody's out there making money.
You just hate to see those things happen.
It was a wild story.
Like Scotty's, it was a misunderstanding. Yeah, public safety out there trying to keep the public safe. And you had a number one golf pro in the world trying to get into the tournament to tee off, and there was a bunch of traffic. It was night. It was raining. It was dark. I won't say it was night. It was dark. There's just a misunderstanding there. But the mayor says and the governor says, hey, let it go away. Yeah. Just drop it. So.
They don't need that.
They don't need that publicity. No. So, and the governor, the mayor or the governor said there's no video, which is surprising to me, but there's no video of it anywhere. No video cams anywhere on the officers or the cars or any of the cars around that, because so many cars today do have those video cameras in them. You see that on YouTube and places like that all the time where people have these. I've seen several this past week of tornadoes out in Texas and Kansas and stuff like that. People are going down the road and seeing these tornadoes. Oh, here's our call. We got a guest on the world famous Butch and Bob show. We'll be with him in just a moment.
South Georgia weather.
Here's your WIFO forecast.
Good morning, everyone. Clear skies on this Monday morning. Looking forward to sunshine getting into the afternoon. Highs today will be close to 80 degrees. It's going to be breezy late day. Clear tonight and lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, wake up, do it all over again. Sunshine and highs close to 80. We'll begin to get a little warmer on Wednesday. Thursday, mid and upper 80s. I'm Georgia meteorologist Laura Huckabee in the GNN Weather Center.
Attention all music lovers. Tune in to our local musician spotlight here on WIFO Radio, where we feature the best up-and-coming artists in your community. Join us as we showcase the incredible talents right in your backyard. From soulful singers to rockin' bands, we've got it all. Don't miss out on this opportunity to discover your next favorite artist and support your local music scene. Catch the local musician spotlight every Friday morning between 8:30 and 9 on Big Dog Country 105.5. Let's show some love to our talented neighbors and make some noise for your local musicians.
Okay?
Cast your votes on our Facebook page.
Okay, hold
Voting
on.
starts Mondays and ends Wednesdays. See you on the airwaves. Brought to you by Union Station Brewing Company, American Steel Buildings, Watermelon Gumballs, Misty's Pharmacy, and England's Collision Center.
And welcome back to the Butch and Bob Show. Special guest on the program. We've got the Governor of the State of Georgia, Governor Brian Kemp, with us. Governor, always good to have you on the show. Appreciate you calling in.
Hey, good morning, Bob. Appreciate you and Butch having me back on.
Well, we'd love to have you on. Like I said, the session just got underway. Just want to get your thoughts on the session. A lot of legislation was passed. You get the right to veto some legislation. So just kind of highlight what was passed and some of the bills that might be vetoed.
Yeah, we really had a great session. I want to thank the members of the General Assembly for their partnership. I mean, with all the chaos you're seeing in Washington, D.C. and craziness in Democratic-led cities around the country, people can just take comfort in the Georgia General Assembly and the governor's office and our constitutional officers all working hard for the people of our state to keep things moving in the right direction. And we just had another incredible session. You know, we passed the largest state income tax cut in history a couple of years ago. That's implemented in this calendar year. And because of our conservative budgeting and other things we've done to keep our economy moving in Georgia, we were able to accelerate another 10 basis point cut, Bob. So the rate this year is going from 5.75 down to 5.39% for personal income tax and for corporate income tax. That's going to save taxpayers and your listeners out there $3 billion over the next 10 years. So just making sure that we're keeping more of your money in your pocket and helping you fight through 40-year high Biden inflation that we're seeing out of Washington, D.C. We also did a lot of other really good things. You know, we did another teacher pay raise. We've now raised teacher pay $9,500 since I've been in office, really thanking those educators and administrators that are in our classrooms. Our workforce needs are continuing to be very strong here in the state because of the great job creation we've had, and we need our educators pumping the workers of the future out of our K-12 system, and so we're thankful for that. We did another law enforcement pay raise, paying our members, men and women in law enforcement at the state level an additional $3,000 this year on top of $6,000 last year, just making sure that we're honoring them, and you know, they're in as tough a job now as they've ever been in my memory, and we're just so thankful for them and the relationship we have with local law enforcement. And then we've done a lot of other things, Bob, just to make sure we're keeping our economy moving and keeping people working in our state in these, you know, inflationary times because of bad policies in Washington, D.C.
And just joining us on the phone with us is Governor Brian Kemp. Governor, can you clarify one thing? You say the pay raises for the teachers. Our Board of Education says the state doesn't fully fund all that. Can you clarify that for us? How does that work?
Well, all I can tell you is that, you know, the funding model in Georgia has always been state and local funds. You know, the locals have property taxes that they generate to help pay for K through 12 education. So all I can tell you is that, you know, when we do, say, a $3,000 teacher pay raise, we're funding $3,000 for every educator that's out there. And, you know, anybody that's complaining about that, they're on the wrong side of this equation. We think that teachers should be paid more, educators should be paid more. It's a really tough environment in the classroom, and you know, that's just I haven't heard them complaining about we're funding more now than we ever have in K through 12 education. If you look, we put $100 million this year into the funding formula that will be from here on out to help local systems with school security. As you know, we've done 2 rounds of school security grants in 2019, and then we did another round last year. But what the superintendents were asking us to do is to give budget certainty there and fund it every year. So we're doing that now. We funded, as you know, Bob, last year, I think it was like $50 million additional dollars in transportation to help school systems be able to buy buses. We plussed up the transportation formula in the budget this year. That's been a complaint for years from educators, saying it was costing way much more than that. So we put more money in there this year. So I wouldn't think that there should be any complaints coming from local school board members.
Oh, I gotcha. And also, you looked after law enforcement as well. Law enforcement got an increase in pay. Is that correct?
Yeah, state law enforcement did. Now that includes not only state patrol, MCCD, our corrections officers, you know, anybody that's post-certified in state law enforcement is going to see that pay raise. And I think when you've seen the chaos that we've seen on college campuses around the country, the lawlessness in cities and places like, you know, California and Oregon and up in New York, and just some of the craziness that you've seen going on in Chicago and other places, we're just not going to put up with that here in the state of Georgia. And our men and women in law enforcement have been doing a tremendous job. We have their back, and we wanted to continue to show that, not only with our vocal support, but also just financially to keep their pay scale where it needs to be when you think about surrounding states, and just the dangerous job that they're doing every day. We're so thankful for them, but also our local law enforcement. We have a great relationship with our police forces, our sheriff's departments across the state, our chiefs and our sheriffs, and it's as good as I've ever seen it, and we're going to keep it that way as long as I'm your governor.
One other topic I wanted to talk to you about, you passed legislation to create an oversight committee to remove local prosecutors and district attorneys that are not doing their job. I was just curious, how soon will that get set up? How many people will be on that committee? How do you go about forming that committee?
Well, the committee's laid out in statute. It is, a lot of fellow prosecutors will be on that committee, so they'll be dealing with their peers on issues like this. As you know, we passed that bill last session. Of course, the Democrats and the left-wing prosecutors that are not, and it's many times doing their daily job, are the ones that are suing over something like this, saying it's unconstitutional and they don't need oversight. And this legislation is set up just like we have for our judges in the state. It's very fair. It's a group of their peers that will decide these things. And unfortunately, they sued last year. It got held up in court, and one of the issues that they said was out there, the Supreme Court noticed on that, and so we passed legislation again this year. So the committee is set up now. People can file complaints if they have complaints against local prosecutors, and then this group will continue to look at those complaints and see if further actions are warranted. Now, I will say this same group's going to sue again, and it's kind of beyond me why they're so concerned when this is set up just like we have for the judges in our state. But it is what it is. We think it's the right thing to do because we've seen rogue prosecutors around the state that just simply are not following the law and doing their job, and if that's the case, they should be held accountable.
Well, the good news is the Georgia economy continues to be strong. Again, I'm happy about that. So a lot of speculation on what the future of Brian Kemp is after your term as governor. You got any ideas what your future is, what you're looking at?
Well, two things. The economy's been incredible. We've had 3 record years in a row. I would tell people down there, 80% of the investment we've seen in those 3 record years and well over half the jobs created has been outside the metro area, which is, as you remember what I campaigned on all those times you interviewed me on our bus stops, Bob, is making sure that we're strengthening rural Georgia, giving people economic prosperity no matter their zip code or neighborhood that they live in, and that's what's playing out in Georgia. I've been telling people as far as the future goes, we need to stay focused on 2024, making sure that we keep Georgia red. I would urge people tomorrow to get out and vote for Justice Andrew Pinson. He's running to hold his seat on the Supreme Court. Career politician John Barrow's running against him. He would be a disaster on the Supreme Court. And so we need to stay focused on tomorrow and get great conservative leaders like Andrew Pinson back on the bench and make sure we hold Georgia in 2024, hold our legislative majorities that I've been working with in the State House and the State Senate and up and down the ticket, and then we'll worry about the future after November.
Well, I know you were a big supporter of Will Mosley from Hazlehurst, Georgia. Unfortunately, he finished runner-up last night, but again, I know you've got to meet him, and we're supporting him and doing everything you can to get Georgians to vote for him.
Well, I know Will didn't quite get there last night, but there's no doubt he's a winner. I think the whole country really appreciates his brand of music, just his attitude, and what a great accomplishment for him. Marty and I did get to visit with him, just a great young man, and I know he's got a bright future ahead of him. We're going to continue to pull for him.
Well, again, Governor, we always appreciate the time. Again, one thing when you first ran, you said you would look after South Georgia. You visited many, many times. We appreciate that. We appreciate you being here on the Butch and Bob Show several times. Appreciate you calling in today and your busy schedule. And again, thanks so much.
Hey, appreciate you, Bob and Butch, and y'all have a great day. Keep chopping down there. We'll see you soon.
Okay,
take care,
thanks so
Governor.
much.
All right, Governor Brian Kemp, our special guest this morning on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO. Appreciate the governor calling in.
Yep. I said, we're trying to line that up. I said, they keep telling us his schedule is swamped, but at the last minute, we were able to get him.
At the last minute, he had a few minutes to be able to call in this morning.
We do appreciate his time here on the Butch and Bob Show. Always good to talk to the governor.
Yep, always good. And, of course, he's trying to keep a veil on his future, it looks like, and just trying to concentrate on what's going on in Georgia right now in 2024 and working to get the budget together and the schedule for next year for the legislative session.
like I said, he's visited South Georgia many times.
He's been down here a
that's
lot,
good.
yeah.
So we appreciate that. Like I said, he's been a good friend of ours. He's been on the show several times. So always good to have the governor on the Butch and Bob show. We do appreciate him.
Yep, sure do. And he was talking about Supreme Court Judge Andrew Pinson, who's the incumbent on the state Supreme Court, and he was talking about folks voting for the incumbent Judge Andrew Pinson.
Right. He was appointed by Governor Kemp in 2021 to that Supreme Court. So, again, people get out and vote tomorrow.
That's right. Time to get out and vote.
Polls open at 7 a.m., stay open until 7 p.m. I understand the 3-week early voting went very smooth to the new election building.
It's a nice building there, yeah.
They said it went smoothly. So, over 2,000 people have voted so far. So, hopefully, it's a good turnout tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good.
Have the results on Wednesday. Be interesting to see how people vote.
It will be interesting to see how people vote. Of course, the main thing, everybody's looking at every single candidate and every single position, but the sheriff's race in Wayne County is something a lot of folks are talking about. Yeah.
I was talking to a friend, even if you're a diehard Democrat, why would you not want to vote for the sheriff and DA's race? Why would you not get I don't understand that. Can you explain that? Explain
it's
that
just against somebody's whole being not to vote on the other side and say, I'm a registered Republican or I'm a registered Democrat when they're not. But,
But I'm just saying, if you live in Wayne County and all three candidates running for sheriff are on the Republican ballot, why would you not go get the Republican ballot and vote in the sheriff's race? I don't
know, Bob.
I don't understand that mindset.
You have to talk to someone who didn't want to do that. They just they vote Democrat all the time, and there's some people who vote Republican all the time.
8 or 10 people every day like that. But it just blows my mind. I'm just like, you live in Wayne County. There's a key sheriff's race. There's 3 candidates. Why would you? And you're not voting if you vote a Democratic ballot. That doesn't register in my mind.
Some people are diehard party people, Bob, and they just can't vote the other way, no matter who the candidates are. And that's just the way it both was, Republican and Democrat. Well, the trial continues today for former President Trump, and it'll be interesting to see how all that turns out there. Boy, that is a media circus up there in New York, let me tell you.
The state's supposed to arrest after today, so it'll be interesting what the defense decides to do. Most so-called talking heads say the defense is going to put up any evidence at all. They're just going to go straight to closing arguments.
Wow.
Others say they'll put, Trump has said he wants to testify, so I think that would be fun. That would be
a blast.
Yeah.
I don't think it's smart, but I think it would be fun.
People are hoping.
It's good for the media.
I mean, it's great TV. So they're just hoping, but most talking heads don't believe he's taking a stand. So
hopefully, he just takes the advice of his lawyer.
I just think it's funny. Some people they say he's closed, his eyes are closed. Some people say he's sleeping. Others say no, he's doing that on purpose to show that he has no respect. So I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows? It's just amazing when you see folks in top positions throughout the government, throughout the nation, and the way they talk, the way they act, and things of that sort. And these are our leaders. If they were the children of someone, they would probably get spanked and taken, or to be told to go to the room. Let's not say spank anymore. You can't say that anymore. Your mom would probably say, go to your room until you can get along. But man, it's just a way amazing. And the way that politicians talk to each other and about each other and all that, but it's not anything that's new. It started way back in George Washington's second term. I've read some stuff on that. It's amazing what people were saying about him, and it's continued all that time. That's what people try to do, is they try to put fear and doubt in your mind against their candidate. So they do everything they can to put fear and doubt there. And if it didn't work, they wouldn't be doing it.
If I'm in Vegas, I'm betting hung jury. That's my bet.
You're betting hung jury if you're in Vegas, huh?
That's my bet in Vegas.
Okay.
Hung jury.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens, Bob. We'll see what happens. Anything else going on?
Graduation Friday night.
That's right. Graduation Friday night. Honors
night Thursday. Courting ceremony tomorrow. So big week this week for the high school graduates. So
always a big week.
Wishing the best.
All right. Well, Bob, you have a good day. World famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. has been brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn and Associates.